but we're here to talk about the new Community Partners Program. And, with everything that's going on in life and in DeFi, there's something that's really been kind of nagging at me that, I've always taught my kids this really critical lesson. And that is I really don't think there's no such thing as problems in our lives. There's only opportunities. And if you look at a problem as an opportunity, it really changes the landscape of everything in front of you. And there's always solutions. There's always solutions to quote unquote problems, which are really only opportunities. And the solutions are that opportunity. And that's really kind of at the heart of what we're trying to do here with the Community Partners Program. And we're looking at and onboarding some pretty phenomenal projects. We actually have about 6 more in the funnel, if you will. We'll be doing another, we will possibly be doing another live stream like this next week. And possibly every week until that kind of starts to slow down, but we'll see. Don't hold me to it, but hopefully within the next week to 2 weeks at the most, we will be onboarding our next. We got some really awesome NFT projects out there that are just doing really wonderful things, and so really excited to be a part of that. And here's the thing, we've got some incredible guests here with us, with PolyDoge, Pi Protocol, and Smart Finance. And we've got so much that we're talking about doing together and to support each other, both, from community perspective to actual differences and exploration in DeFi. And so I'm really excited about that because there's some alpha and there's a lot of alpha out there with these projects that may or may not come out during this presentation, but we are definitely looking to explore beyond anything that we talk about here today. And that's really at the heart of what we're going to be doing with this Community Partners Program. So without any further ado, we've got Jordan here in the left-hand corner. Did that not work? That like died. Doge on so many levels, but I'm gonna turn some time over here to you, Jordan, and share some of the things that you guys are working on, and where you see the community partnership fitting into that.
Awesome. Hey, thank you again, for having us here, with the Axion community and being a part of this, community, partners program. I mean, one thing about PolyDoge is, as you see behind me here, we're going to be having our 2-year birthday. It'll be officially on April 26th, but we'll be doing this big, huge PolyDoge birthday bash May 12th through the 13th, and that'll be on the Inverse platform like we did with PolyCon 2023, right? But so we've been around for a little while, but the real secret to our success has been working with many other projects, communities, and finding those ways that we can create synergies, finding those ways that we can complement each other. And that's really why PolyDoge was able to get to where it has gotten to, and it's also the main reason why we're so bullish on the next 2 months and everything that we're doing with our partners, everything we're doing with Axion, Pi Protocol, Smart Finance, many other partners that are going to be a part of this Community Partners Program. And it's just a really exciting time. This is the main ethos of Web3. Like I come from a background of like traditional business, and when I came into Web3, I found this beautiful home where everyone is trying to help each other, and it's not like we're even necessarily in competition. Like even like the other top meme coins, quote unquote community coins, we're all working together behind the scenes, and there'll be even more coming out over the next couple of weeks and months as as you see like different coalitions forming. And so this is something that is really kind of at the heart of I think that all of the projects within Web3 and within crypto are doing right now. And we see that traditional finance is on the attack right now. We see that governments are on in the attack. They're on the offensive. And so we get to rally together, link arms, prepare for battle. And we're on the side of liberty. We're on the side of freedom. We're on the side for the people. When I saw, and I don't want to, I'm not going to jump into any like main politics or anything like that, but when I just saw the tweet by Elizabeth Warren saying that she's creating an anti-crypto army, anti-crypto coalition, and that she's there for the people, I was like, wow, you really have missed so much of what's actually happening here in DeFi, what's happening with decentralization. We're cutting the middleman out. We're taking charge of our finances. We're taking charge of our self-sovereignty, our identity. We're getting past those structures that have been running for 400 plus years, and they're obviously breaking down, right? I.e. banks and, all the different things that are happening there. So it's exciting to be here at this time. I mean, I could cover more about what we're doing in the PolyDoge, but I'll just leave it at that for right now, and we can go on to the next partners, unless I have more time.
Well, no, actually, I think we're going to have plenty of time because I thought maybe I would ramble on a little bit more in the beginning, and I actually ended up not doing that. But one of the points that I missed that I want to kind of just make real quick is the Community Partners Program is really just the beginning of the overall ecosystem that we want to establish within Axion and within DeFi, because many of you already know we have the Launch Alliance, and of course we have our launch pad. And we've successfully launched several projects already. And as we kind of have these conversations with projects like PolyDoge and Smart Finance and Pi Protocol, and as we start onboarding these projects and engaging in social media, co-marketing, co-branding, co-support, whatever that might turn into as we navigate this process, there will be some that come from this Community Partners Program who end up being in our Launch Alliance. With our Launch Alliance, you've got products and services and elements to your project that it just makes sense to provide those for other projects. And one of our biggest goals in this whole process is just to create a safer environment for projects that are coming into DeFi. We talked about this a little bit at PolyCon when we had the little security panel, and that needs to come from within DeFi. Let them do what they're going to do out there. It's all going to fall flat eventually, because what's been built here is just a machine and a monster that's going to be next to impossible to stop. And we're excited actually with everything that you've got going on there at PolyDoge. I don't know if you want to talk just a little bit about the PolyDoge chain.
Yeah. In fact, I think that that's a great segue, with what you said about potentially, being a part of, different launch partners, right? So one big thing as a PolyDoge ecosystem, we've done all kinds of things. We've done DeFi, we've done NFTs, we do metaverse events, right? We have the first Metaverse Events Agency DAO, where if you hold one of our Polygon Pandas Space Club NFTs, you get access to all of our events. You get access to revenue share through raffles, because that's the way that we future proof legally, right? So there's many different benefits, to that ecosystem that we created, but we're looking for more, and we want to do more. And over the last about, let's see, about 6 months or so now, we've been building the PolyDoge chain, and the PolyDoge chain is on Polygon Edge, and we are creating the first like storytelling blockchain. So every single project that is invited, as I say, right, invited, and it's the reason that we invite the projects to our chain is because we want to have a really secure, a really curated experience. Too many times when a new launch of a blockchain, like, you just have all kinds of people that are jumping on there and they're building stuff, and the team has no idea who those people are, hasn't vetted them or anything like that. And so we're creating a whole system where we can vet them, but then we can enter them into this major IP, awesome, massive storytelling saga, the likes of like Star Wars or Final Fantasy or Horizon Zero Dawn, and then we use that as one of the bases of like our marketing, right? So all the projects are working together, marketing each other, because they're all connected by the story. And so our focus with that is gaming, NFTs, metaverse experiences, and social impact. And we have incredible partners on all those different sides, and especially on the social impact side. And there's actually a partner that will be joining the community partners program with Axion that will be introduced later on, that is doing some huge stuff, huge things with social impact. And I'm a little bit biased because I'm actually on that team and helped to create it, the Million Dreams DAO. But so we're looking at all the different ways that we can, support other projects, that we can be that voice within decentralization, be that voice for the future, the paradigm shift of humanity, because that's what Web3 is. This is a way that we can give more resources to more people than we ever have in the history of the world. And that's what really gets us excited at PolyDoge is, we use PolyDoge. It's a community coin. It's a meme coin, right? But we have 225,000 holders. And the reason we have 225,000 holders is because we're fun, engaging, had all kinds of ways that we've, given value to our community. And we've created this bridge to where people can get into crypto. They can learn about it, go even deeper, and explore all the different options that there are. And so we're pretty we're pretty excited to see what happens with the community partners program with Axion, and then also what that looks like going forward with like the launch partners and everything like that. And in fact, with PolyDoge Chain, we will be doing a raise. We will be doing a public raise as well, and of course we're already exploring options of do we use Axion as a launch pad, right? To be a launch pad partner. So, more information could come out on that in the future, but that's just kind of, some of the stepping stones of what we're creating here together, and then helping to support everyone else in the ecosystem.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's really kind of what we're here for. And I'm definitely excited about some of those things that you did mention, and just excited to do whatever we can to support those and to see those things thrive. It's, it blows my mind, when we'll be talking to XRP here shortly from Smart Finance, and we did the 6-hour space the other day, and I look at what you guys are doing, each of you really, and I just blown away. Where do you find the time? Where do you find the time to fit all of this stuff in? But because the pace of crypto sometimes is just overwhelming. But definitely excited to be a part of what you guys are doing, and to see those things kind of roll out organically as we explore this whole community partners program, as we onboard others and really start to have a conversation in DeFi that that hopefully it makes a difference. It has an impact. And so appreciate those things. So what I'm doing.
No, I'm sure you do. I've always had confidence. Sure. It's all good, brother.
So how's it going over at Pi Protocol?
Oh man, it's crazy days.
I'll do a little quick introduction. We met at PolyCon. Thanks to Jordan and his awesome creation there with PolyCon.
Absolutely.
So we met at PolyCon, and you guys were doing something that just absolutely just I fell in love almost immediately. I had been trying to get a few of our community members to hop on the stage with me to do like a selfie where we just had nothing but Axion members on our stage. And it's funny because I was just walking through and I decided to go walk over to our booth and just kind of take a look at things. Even though I'd seen it a million times and set it up myself, I still wanted to walk over there and look at it. And as I was doing that, out of the corner of my eye, I see Pi Protocol's booth, and there's like 7 or 8 of you guys standing in the booth, and you all have your Pi Protocol logos up over your head, and I'm like going, these guys know what they're doing. And that's literally what I thought. And so I stepped up on the stage, we chatted for a while, and the rest is kind of history. But big, humongous hat tip, because that was just phenomenal. To be able to meet you guys in that environment, and I've told people that, those types of forums is where magic happens. And I think this is proof of that. And we're just totally stoked to be working with you guys, to see what you're doing here on Polygon as you migrate. You're kind of migrating from the Binance. Now you're not moving to Polygon, but you're opening up some channels here, and that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was, I'll tell you what, PolyCon, huge kudos to the PolyDoge team. I mean, we had talked to PolyDoge previously, about coming on the PolyDoge chain. And then once we had made that, when we had decided that, we're like, okay, let's go to PolyCon. And I tell you what, best decision we ever made. That exploded us. We actually had a schedule. We had to make sure our booth was manned the entire time. Everybody signed up. We had multiple people in there all the time. But being able to go around and talk to everybody in the booths, and it was just intense. We met so many great people, and it kind of launched us. It really launched us on Polygon, and also made us realize what a community Polygon is. We probably talked to more people in the past month on Polygon, Polygon projects than we have in the past year on PSC. It's just a different vibe. It's a whole different vibe. Lots of love, lots of support. Just love these people.
Hey man, when you know where the party is.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely the party.
It changes everybody. Yeah, because you're right. There is an energy here that I have never felt anywhere else.
Yeah, and shout out to my brother Hato for giving us a good time.
Hato's one of the most hilarious guys I've ever met.
I just had to mention that
in my life.
I just had to mention that because he kind of made Polycon was quite the ride. He hung out in our booth for hours, and that was absolute riot.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, but aside from that, yeah. So it was Polygon has been very good to us, and we are doing so many things going on. It's like, okay, we only have 12, 15 minutes to talk. It's like, let's see, what do we cram into that? I got 20 gallons to put into a 5-gallon hat or 1-gallon hat. I don't know if I can do it, but we'll make an effort.
Well, and you know what? We're going to get back together again too. So, if we just touch on some of the finer points, then, we're going to be opening up some one-on-ones and some more specific kind of explorations because it really deserves that, especially with what you've got going on. You've got such an amazing ecosystem and you're doing so much. There's so much alpha that I wish I could just throw out there, but it's been totally exciting. And I've been very, very thankful that we were able to connect and we hit it off, and the rest is history. But so what I've got up here, guys, is this is my what would you call it? My dashboard.
Your personal profile.
My personal profile. So as you can see, I've already collected some NFTs that are showing up on Pi Protocols within their system. We've got, and I'm going to see if I can bring Fix up here. He's in the house. Just give me a second here because I'm doing all these little things by myself. But I did pick up some Matic Gray babies that are the baby grays. Got some Polygon pandas, and of course I've got Fix's music video here, or his music NFT. Let me see if this will work. He's going to show up under you guys, but how you doing, Fix?
Yo.
How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Sorry, I thought this was going to be 3:00 my time, so I apologize for the tardiness on my end.
No worries.
Hope you brought your guitar because we're going to need some music. So
I could possibly play it in a little bit.
Hang on, I'm going to try to do something here. I'm supposed to be able to do this on the but go ahead. Why don't you go ahead and
So we'll just kind of run through a few things here. So Pi Protocol, we're basically mostly we started out as an NFT marketplace, and have kind of grown from there into an entire DeFi ecosystem, and now we're pushing more into gaming, and so we kind of have a lot going on. So we still have our DeFi or NFT marketplace, which you can see personal profiles here, and if you go to the next tab, you can see this is one of the things that we do a lot of is we work with artists and projects on our Launchpad. And so right now we have 2 projects on there. We'll actually have quite a few more that are being added. And these are, if an artist or project doesn't have a way to actually launch their NFTs, they can come to us and we actually give them their own contract, as opposed to like going to OpenSea where you're on a community contract. You get your own contract, it's yours. And so by having your own contract, you actually have ownership. So we do a KYC though. This is the other thing that a lot of the platforms don't do. For anybody who's going on our Launchpad, we do KYC. This is protecting our community, and that's one of the big things we do with our community is our community understands that any projects we promote, support, partner with, have on our Launchpad, they're KYC'd. We give them that security and that safety net. Because we find that important. So we've partnered with Assure DeFi, and they do all the KYC for us. So we don't actually get the information. It actually goes through a third party. The third party has all the information, and they are KYC'd with a third party fully. So it just gives everybody a lot better, feeling about, working with Pi Protocol.
We're doing a similar thing with our Launchpad partners, so that's awesome.
Absolutely, and we've also done KYC for the entire team. We have a team of 13, and we've done a full KYC on everybody. So it's a very secure protocol. And we have over 100 contracts that we've deployed, and all of them are audited. We just don't do unaudited contracts. It's just, part of the, these are our standards.
Right.
You can go to the next tab there. So one of the things that we actually brought to Polygon, and this has been our big push, is an NFT DEX. Now, a lot of people don't really understand what that means. An NFT DEX actually allows you to create a liquidity pool like you do for a token, but with NFTs. And by doing this, you actually can buy, sell, and trade NFTs in that collection, just like you do tokens. So it's immediate. So if I have an NFT I want to sell, I don't have to go to a marketplace, but on the marketplace, hope I have the right floor price and all the other things with it. You can go right to the liquidity pool for that NFT collection and sell it. But you can also go to that liquidity pool, look through it, and find ones that you might want to buy, and it's got a floor price, and the floor price is not manipulated by wash trading, as you'll find on OpenSea and other things like that. So you know that floor price is legit. Just like token prices, it actually fluctuates with the buys and sells because it actually is liquidity on ApeSwap. So it's kind of
this was something that really fascinated me because it took me it did take me a minute to wrap my brain around it, but the minute I did, it was kind of embarrassing that it took me a minute to wrap my brain around it. So
it's a whole lot of it creates a synthetic ERC20 when you create the vault, and then that synthetic ERC20 and the Matic get added as actual liquidity on ApeSwap. Right. And so now it's mapped NFT to token. And so trying to wrap your brain around that sometimes is, I've tried to get away from explaining the details because there's even more details, and it's like, okay, let's keep this high enough level because, once you say a few too many of those keywords, you lost. They're lost. But the simple thing is you go to the next one, and this is the Matic Grays, who is one of our core partners. We love the Grays, and they've supported us with everything. And they immediately came in and set up their liquidity pool. So there's their vault. And so what you see here is this is the pool that you can buy from. So if you click on any one of these Matic Grays NFTs, these are sitting in the liquidity pool, just like tokens are. And you can see it has a price, 23.0966. And then there's a fee, and the fee goes to the liquidity providers. But you can also, if you have NFTs, you can actually, in this collection, you can actually sell them straight into this and get Matic right away. You don't have to put it on the market and wait. And then you can also swap. So if you have NFTs in your wallet and you want to swap for a couple of them, you go in here, you pick the ones you want to swap, and you pick the ones you want to give, and there's a small fee, but then you can swap them. Now, so this is huge for projects. For look, you're giving your users more utility, easy liquidity. You're giving them more security because now I know that the NFTs I bought are not dust in my wallet. They actually have a liquidity backing. They actually have a value. Done. And then you're also, for collectors, this is great because if I don't want these NFTs anymore, I dump them, and then the believers in the project go in here and scoop them all up. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So there's so many utilities when it comes to having an NFT DEX. And so we actually onboarded a whole lot of projects in the beginning. We're continuing to get more projects involved. But the more projects wrap their brain around this, and if you have a gaming project, a gaming set of NFTs, this is beautiful because you can actually create an instantaneous store for your game items where people can buy it. They go in the game and they get a bunch of stuff and they come out and they got the NFTs. They're like, oh, I don't need this axe, so I'm going to sell it into the pool. But boy, I need that sword or that shield or whatever. Boom, and they buy it out or swap it out. It's just beautiful for a play-to-earn ecosystem. And you can actually set this up. We have what's called eligibility contracts, which actually allows you to use on-chain information to set up different vaults for different characteristics. So like the Grays, we're going to put their metadata on-chain. And now I can actually create different vaults for different rarities. And so you have a common vault, you have an uncommon vault, and an epic vault, and a legendary vault. And that way you're trading against the same rarity. You're not having commons in the same vault as legendaries. You don't have a base floor price. You actually have a floor price based on your rarities, which is beautiful. And we can write all those contracts too. So we do a lot of work like that.
And you're getting in. I know you've got several games in the works. I know you've got. Is it fair to say you have a couple that are ready for play, or are you in beta on them? Or
we have one that's Mintopoly, which is the we actually bought Mintopoly, which is a game that's been on the Ethereum chain for about a year and a half now, and it kind of got slow. It's kind of slowed down, and then we actually just bought all the rights to it and putting it on Polygon, and it is a very, very fun game where you can actually, so we have the moon base where you actually can go, and this is kind of cool because you don't actually have to, it doesn't cost you anything. You register, and now you can go to all these moon bases and actually harvest resources. And then you collect these resources and you can actually set up your own moon bases to get more resources to set up more moon bases.
And you have control of that screen. So if you wanted to poke around and show anything, you can.
Let's let's see, let me view my tab. Okay, so here's the actual moon base, and so you can go here and we can click on any of these and you can see it's harvest, whether you can harvest and things like that. And you can go over here to the exchange where you can actually buy and sell resources. And once you actually have enough resources, you can actually go and pick a plot and pick what you want to do with it. And all of this, you can see people are making, there's a heart, there's a Mentopoly logo. So we actually have a bounty out for the first player or players that actually create a pie logo. So that's on the list here. But all of this actually is used to generate its activity to fund what's called the actual blockchain simulator. And now the blockchain simulator game, it's awesome. And you actually go through and it actually simulates, and the game lasts about a week and actually simulates creating an entire blockchain ecosystem. It starts off with staking pools and works your way up, and you can actually have mining rigs and your own blockchains, and you can do forks of your blockchain and all kinds of other things. It's a heck of a fun game. And at the end, the winners actually, or the top top contributors actually get to share in a pool of Mentopoly tokens. And those Mentopoly tokens are used to actually buy NFTs from the vending machines. I don't know if can I go to the main screen here? There we go. There's you can actually buy NFTs in the vending machines, and the NFTs actually affect your play. And one of the reasons we got this was because, of course, we really love the game. But the other one was this is already running, and this is a way that we can actually bring partners in. We can start making NFTs for them that can actually work with the game and work with the moon and start building community. And even like the Matic Grays, who we love, we have the moon. Well, I think we're going to build Mars.
There you go.
And that's definitely alpha there, but I think we're going to build Mars, and it's going to be based on the Matic Grays and all the partners, and Space Pandas definitely going to be in there. And so we're going to build NFTs. We're going to build an ecosystem around it. But the idea is this is building partners. What we've realized through pies.
And we call ourselves Axionauts, right?
Oh, do you now?
Yeah, we're Axionauts. So the Axionauts are going to have to get in a ship and come.
Absolutely, we're going to have to figure out where they go in here, because it'll be beautiful. I mean, this is just kind of one of those things where you can immediately bring in community, get everybody working together. We do have a party that's going to come up, a launch party coming up soon, and that is going to. I have to have Sonny here talk. Sonny, can you talk? You there? You're on mute at the moment.
Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, give us a quick rundown on the Mentopoly part.
We got about 5 minutes.
Paul, you're killing me with all the alpha over here, man.
I was just gonna say, I knew about the game, but I knew nothing about the game, and which is why here I am right now live saying, we call ourselves Axionauts, because we really haven't talked about this. And
we haven't.
And so
we did a soft launch. And then we're going to actually have an actual full launch, and we're going to have our partner NFTs ready. And so we're kind of gathering some of those partners together. We kind of haven't even really started too much on it. But Sonny, tell us about the competition and party.
We're going to have we're planning the official Mentopoly launch party, as Paul mentioned. We're going to have some cool and fun stuff for people to do. We're going to be reaching out to different projects and some of our partners to see who wants to participate. We're going to be doing a treasure hunt where people are going to have to figure out a little like mind-bending puzzle, and it might be like a cipher style where there might be a lot of different quests or things to figure out to get to the next stage. And in the end, there will be a few winners to win some NFTs. So that's one of the things we got planned. And then as well as we're going to be doing we're supposed to, I think we're going to make the announcement today. But we're going to be starting to do also a leaderboard competition, a weekly competition for Mintopoly. As Paul mentioned, the game lasts a week, so the round starts. I believe it's on Sundays. The new round start. So we're going to be having a weekly competition for the top 25 players. Every week will be put in a raffle, and we'll pick either one or maybe three people to win some cool NFTs from different partner projects. So we're looking forward to that. And then we got some cool stuff as well, like as Paul mentioned, where we want to get some of our partner projects in on the Mintopoly. Did you mention the cards, or was I not supposed to say that?
I was also going to say, you said, we're supposed to be
baby.
announcing this later today, and I hate to break this to you, but you kind of announced it today already. So now the fire is lit underneath your to get to
so
work,
we got
right?
the Mintopoly cards, right? So we're looking into integrating partner projects with that, and then as well as the moon, right? A lot of cool things we got. We'll make an announcement soon for the Mintopoly party. It'll probably be in a few weeks, and I'll be reaching out to you guys, and man, looking forward to it.
Awesome. Sweet. So yeah, that really just goes to the heart of what I said earlier on. There is so much going on with each and every one of these incredible projects that we're partnering up with here. And we could spend an easy hour with each project. So
Absolutely.
We definitely will come back. We'll come back full circle. We'll look forward to some of those announcements. At the risk of going, we're actually making really good time here. So I'm real stoked. But and I keep wanting to say this, but I'm just going to keep my mouth buttoned up. But as a lot of you know, I talk about my love of Ready Player One, and if you've seen Ready Player One, it really just opens up your mind to the possibilities that where we're heading in the future. That was one of the things I loved about PolyCon, is while it was rudimentary in one respect, and I don't mean to say that in any negative light whatsoever, because it wasn't actually, I was stoked to be there, and it was a fun experience. But we're really on the cusp of this whole next generation in metaverse and games and everything else. And that's really how I met our next guest, was there at PolyCon. Well, actually, we kind of met beforehand, but we really connected at PolyCon. And I finally got him to watch Ready Player One. And so this is the opening song to Ready Player One. And I thought, you know what better way to kick things off than with that opening song there. So without further ado, we got Joshua here and I hope I didn't cut you guys off too soon there, but we will circle back and definitely look forward to bringing out some of those other things you guys are working on there at Pipe Protocol. But so how you doing there, XRP?
Rock and roll, enjoying the show. I get up and nothing gets me down. Let's go.
Okay, you got to change your tab there.
Yeah. Let's move on to a different screen. I like looking at your guys' faces while I listen.
So we met at PolyCon. We really connected at PolyCon, and here's how we connected at PolyCon. XRP loved jumping on bushes and jumping on walls, and he was leading people all over the place, and we were climbing up on top of bushes, jumping up on top of banners, and he got me up on top of the wall overlooking the building, and I jumped out over the other side, and I was actually outside the building. Like I escaped that metaverse.
We broke out, baby.
And it was kind of fun.
It was our little version of Ready Player One, man. Like they they did what they wanted, we did what we wanted.
and we really connected, through the DeFi panel. And so there was just so much energy there, and I can't imagine not having you guys here today. And I think you guys you're really kind of cutting the edge of a lot of different things in DeFi. And here's the thing, and I don't mean to diminish this, but people are going to figure this out. So right now you're not on Polygon, but you have created a bridge from other networks to Polygon, and we're going to actually highlight that here in a second, because I did something the other day that I never thought I would do. And why don't we just go ahead? I'm going to turn that time over to you, and then I'll share that as we.
Right. Well, first I got to say this is awesome. This is dope. It's awesome to be a part of this community, partnership program that you guys have going on. I've loved the Axion stats that you gave me. We went over everything from your biggest projects to the smallest projects, and it's just an exciting thing to be a part of. And I know this because I know how great the Polygon community is. Like you said, they welcomed us with open arms into PolyCon 2023. As an outsider, as a project that built their NFTs and their smart contracts on Avalanche, we were still hanging out over there because we make something easier, more optimized, or better for their community. And I think that's always going to benefit any community, any network, if you can do that for them. So it was exciting to get over there, meet you guys, and mess around, have a good time on the dance floor. I mean, shoot, I probably danced for a cool hour.
Yeah, we even had Fix in one of our circles over there playing his guitar. It was fun. There was a lot of energy there.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I guess I don't know where to start. Besides, what.
Well, so how many chains are you guys on?
Right now, currently, we are live. If I'm still sharing, we're live on 7 different networks. So okay. I usually in my pitch and Twitter Spaces and whatnot would just kind of generally focus on the fact that we're bringing 7 different networks, which would in most cases for you be 7 different websites that you normally frequent. With them all under one roof, we're providing that streamlined, all-in-one, all-inclusive, under one roof place for you to get your stuff done. That, in my opinion, it made my life a lot easier. I don't have 20 tabs across the top of my screen anymore. I pick the network I want to trade on. My MetaMask automatically shifts to that network. If you don't have that network already installed, the RPC endpoints, then it'll automatically install the most up-to-date proper network information for you. And then boom, you're off to the races trading tokens on that chain. So that's exciting. But see, we're if you don't have money on those chains, we have our bridge live too, right here on the same UI, same tab. You literally just pick what network you're coming from, and then pick what network you want to go to, and then you pick what token you want to leave from. So if you guys have been around bridges for a while, you typically need to shift out of the native token into a stable token, then do a bridge transaction, then swap out of that stable token into the native destination token. That's 3 transactions. What we've done is we've streamlined that for you as well and turned it into one. So let's just say, I know you're going to do this.
Well, you know what? I was going to say, you want me to just kind of take over right here? And
yeah, absolutely. It'd be fun.
So here's something. I'm sharing my screen. And this was awesome. So Axion, you do not need to import the Axion token into this bridge or the swap. And I am loaded up right now with some BNB on Binance. I'm going to come over here to Polygon, and I'm going to type in Axion.
You got to spell it right.
If I could spell it right, yeah. And there it is. There's Axion right there. Okay.
Now,
So
remember, we're not swapping. We're bridging cross-chain from one network to another.
So all in one function where, like you said, you know, in the past, I would have to swap to stable. I would have to bridge my stable, or I would bridge my, you know, BNB for WBNB. And then I'd have to, you know, there's so many steps that you've got to go through. And hang on here. It's, I might need to refresh.
Yeah, you got a spinny icon. I would just shift refresh.
I got to approve. Switch.
That's pies. I think that's pies. Yeah.
There we go. No, why is it defaulting Polygon? Because I keep trying to switch here to the Binance. Okay.
I would refresh your screen. You've been moving around a lot of pages and
yeah,
a lot of stuff.
We're in a bridge.
Yeah, and that's bridging or swapping 101. Is if you're ever having trouble with something, just the normal pause and refresh. You know.
Okay, we're gonna go to Polygon.
Everybody knows that everything works perfectly on a live stream too. Always,
right? especially if you spell it right. If you spell what you're trying to get right.
Now, did you hit max before you selected Axion?
No,
because I saw it light up with your amount.
Well, I did earlier.
All right. So what
I know not to do max. Okay. Okay.
Oh, it was waiting for an amount, I think.
Yeah.
So your gas when you do our bridge, your gas is paid with the chain that you're leaving from. So you can't hit max on your BNB if the gas needs to be paid with BNB.
So I'm on the Binance Smart Chain. I'm using BNB. I'm purchasing Axion and I have double checked this, everybody who's watching. I did check on ApeSwap to see what I should get. And to be honest with you, I was surprised because I actually got just a little bit more than what ApeSwap was telling me I would get. So, but here's where the magic happens, because I'm going to go ahead and confirm this.
I would say that this would take us about 60 seconds to complete not only the bridge, but also the purchase of the Axion on the other side.
So the transaction's complete. It does take about a minute and a half for it to authenticate. But if I go over to my Polygon wallet.
Oh, and you guys got to see the new UI. We have a whole new UI coming, UX for everything.
So right now I don't have Axion, but let's do this because I'm going to do one more because I'm going to go back. I'm going to go over here to Avalanche. And I'm going to do the same thing from Avalanche.
You're going to love the new UI. You can actually toggle to be able to send this to a different wallet as well. So if you wanted to bridge Avalanche from one wallet, have it show up as Axion in another wallet, you could do that as well. So like we're getting so many more features with our updates and our upgrades, and it just makes it really cool to be building in DeFi like this.
Okay, now I set my gas really high. Okay, I got my, I just go up to 150.
Yeah, it's super dope. I mean, I'll just say a quick testimonial. So I think it was about a week and a half before PolyCon 2023. I had some extra that I wanted to put into PolyDoge that was on Ethereum. And so I took about $5,000 worth of Ethereum and I bridged it over using Smart Finance to buy PolyDoge. And it literally happened in like 30 seconds. In like 30 seconds, I went from Ethereum to Matic to Polygon Matic with my PolyDoge sitting in my wallet. It was just ridiculous because it's so simple, right? It's so powerful. I remember the days where it would take me like an hour or like 2 hours sometimes to bridge from Ethereum to Polygon or Polygon to Ethereum. And in fact, right now, most bridges take a lot longer than that. So, I mean, Smart Finance is really on to something.
Yeah, with the way that we layer stuff and the protocols that we take advantage of, the new tech that came out while we were building during the last year really allowed us to capitalize on some newer new tech that allows us new capabilities that weren't there, a year ago. And that's what we're really, focused on is from a user's basis. I'm a user of DeFi since it was created, and then crypto for like 10 years now. So we see the pain points, we see the bottlenecks, we see the stuff that if it screws my day up, I guarantee it screws yours up and anybody else on any chain. So if we can fix that fragmented capital market in crypto, then we're just gonna continue to find ways to make life easier for people.
So that transaction from AVAX happened in under a minute. It's already in my wallet. The one on Polygon the one on Binance Smart Chain was just a little bit more than a minute, and it was all approved and shows up now. I didn't see it when I looked in MetaMask, but maybe I have the oh, there it is. So yeah, it's all there.
That's it, baby. That's what we focus on.
So now basically anyone from Binance Smart Chain or AVAX or and I think there was 4 chains right now that you could cross into Polygon to. You can buy PolyDoge, you can buy Axion, and so if you work with someone who is married to the Binance Smart Chain or they're married to the Avalanche Smart Chain, then it doesn't matter. They can still purchase Axion directly from that smart chain. And
think about how much time you spend coaching people that are from other chains to get to your chain to buy your token. Like eliminating that process of teaching people how to switch to stable, ride a bridge, switch back to stable, then buy the Matic, that's just the day of the past. So we're excited about this.
And this is the amazing part. This is in that short period of time, you can sit here and track how amazing. So my transaction fees to buy from the Binance Smart Chain onto Polygon Smart Chain was $1.04. Not
bad, huh? Not a bad shake.
I mean, usually if you're bridging a stable, you're going to pay at least $1 or a little bit more than $1 just to bridge the stable, and then you're going to have to do your swap. So
yep, exactly.
And I want to see what the Avalanche.
You see my background, right? This is the market right now. ETH pool, BNB pool, AVAX pool, all the other pools. And when Smart Finance steps in, we tear down these walls right here, and we make it one big ass pool where we can all swim together. So
yeah, it was a little bit more on AVAX, but to be transparent, I did have my gas set up to like 150. So
me too. I have to switch that every time. Yeah, for sure.
I could have gone way lower, and that was on me. I was looking at what the gas was on Polygon, and I didn't really have to care about the gas on Polygon. I should have looked at what the gas was on AVAX, but so that's on me. But
throw me a screen share, and I'll show you something freaking amazing.
Where
you think that was cool? We'll drop a little alpha for you right here live on the channel. I don't.
You want to take over?
Yeah. Throw that. Okay, I'm back on. All right, check this out. So we talked about that. The swap has the 7 chains, right? And we will be bridging on all 7 networks. We're 4 out of the 7. We took the top 4 right away, and we'll take the other 3 as of right now. They're being deployed very soon, as soon as possible. I don't know how soon, but they will be up very soon. So you'll have all those 7 different 7 communities that can come by, or 6 communities can come by your token, right? But it doesn't stop at token. And this is what I loved about what Pi was talking about earlier, was that the staking pools for the NFTs, because the NFT is the same as the token in essence. And that was amazing, Paul. So shout out to you for sure. You guys are onto something amazing. But what we did was we took this bridging architecture and this infrastructure and this flow, and we applied it to, wait. So this is our Mint page right now. If you go to our NFTs and you go to Mint, right, we have limited NFTs. It'll switch you to Avalanche Network, and then you mint the NFT. If you hit Mint, it pulls up your Avalanche wallet, right? And it'll take the payment. But check out our new Mint page. And remember, we're getting a whole new UI UX. So this whole page will be updated as well. But look at it now. Mint price. It doesn't know how much it is because you haven't selected the network that you want to pay with yet. Instead of just taking Avalanche, Why would you just take Avalanche for your Avalanche NFT? That's silly. Let's go ahead and take some Binance for my Avalanche NFT. So it'll automatically switch you to the network you're going to, and then it'll ask you, what token do you want to pay for that? So now we switched from having one payment method to having Binance, that's 2, but also every token underneath Binance. So that's another 3,000 payment methods. So now you're looking at, let's just keep it on BNB, because that's the native. It's going to move the fastest, cheapest, most liquidity sources, right? So now you have a mint price of 0.74 BNB, which is equivalent to 13.5 AVAX. You hit mint, pulls up your MetaMask, and boom, does the same bridge action that we just did to buy your token. It does that same bridge action to purchase my NFT with the BNB from your other wallet. So that's what's special here, is that when you come to my NFT page, I want you to open your wallet and select what you want to pay with. You could say, yeah, I got Avalanche, but I owe it to a buddy. But I do have some Ethereum. Let me just use the Ethereum that's in my wallet to pay for this NFT, to pay for this IDO, this ICO, this merchandise, this commodity trade transfer. Like, the world is endless for what this application can be applied to. This is our smallest proof of concept right here, is that just put it to the mint page, show that you can accept 7 different revenue sources instead of 1. And that's business 101, So we're so stoked about this. I would hit the mint button, but I don't have the money in this wallet.
we were up kind of late last night, and I remember you say, I hope I remember to put some money in my wallet, but that's incredible. And there is so much more, guys. There's a lot more that's happening with smart finance. They're doing some things that, once they really kind of, they are kind of in the same boat as everybody else, embracing Polygon, and, but with our, because Axion doesn't just launch tokens on Polygon. We've launched on Binance, we've launched on Ethereum, we've launched on Polygon. We were prepared to launch on AVAX, but we got, chewed up by the bear market. And we are capable of launching on all of these other networks. And so we see some real synergy here with smart finance, and even with Pipe Protocol, even though, they're still primarily on Binance Smart Chain, they are opening their marketplace here on Polygon. They are spending, if it's fair to say, they're spending a tremendous amount of their time and energy on Polygon, because they do see kind of a future here with some things I can't mention. But anyway, it's just awesome, guys, to be here. I know you probably have some more stuff, Joshua, but I do like to keep these right at an hour. So if there's anything you guys would like to throw out there real quick that you feel would be important, that you skipped over, let's go ahead and hit those real quick. I'm going to glance through the comments to see if there's any questions that we might have. And then also join us tomorrow for Axion Friday tomorrow morning. Join us tomorrow at noon Eastern Standard Time for This Is Not a Shill Show. And then Josh, XRP Junkie here, is going to be hosting this massive 6+ hour Twitter space. I'll be on with him.
Every Saturday, baby.
Every Saturday. He's a freaking machine when it comes to these things. And so there'll be a lot of projects on there that you'll be able to kind of learn about. We would encourage you to check those out. Any last minute things, Paul, that you
I definitely want to say tomorrow. I mean, we have some time. Saturday we have some time on that big space, and just tune in, because we're going to want to talk a little bit about our NFT portal, which allows you to NFTify non-blockchain games in a matter of days without putting blockchain in the game itself.
What? I haven't even heard this yet.
I need to slow it down for my brain.
It'll blow your mind. We do 90+% of the heavy lifting, and we'll help you with the rest. and get NFTs in your game in a matter of days instead of a 6-month-long blockchain process.
I look forward to hearing more about that.
Okay,
then.
yeah.
We'll talk about that on Saturday.
How
I'm
do
gonna
any of
grill
us
you
go
on that
after
for
that,
sure.
right? That's the mic drop of the stream.
I'd just say that if you guys have any questions, our Discord's open 24/7. Voice chat's always live. Come over, ask a question, join the community. There are ways to get involved with our NFTs. Our NFTs that we showed you, they're connected to the smart contracts, so you actually earn from the fees that are accumulating through the DEX already live on 7 chains, bridging on 4. So all you do is you hit this page. It checks how many NFTs you have in your wallet, and it gives you your proportional share out of the fee pools that are being collected. So black and white for us, and check us out. Come ask some questions. We'd love to. This is what this community partnership is for: to expand into yours and us come to yours as well. We have a ton of DJs that are going to be coming over because this is exciting. I've known you, Paul, since PolyCon, and I didn't know half the stuff that you just showed me. Like, this really just opened my eyes to you guys.
I appreciate it.
Definitely. Yeah, that's why I've been making comments in the background saying, guys, you guys got to get together, because and I see that happening. And this is really what we hope to accomplish with our community partners program. We don't want it to be it's not just about Axion. It's not about Axion. It's about the projects who make up the community partnership program, because there's so much alpha right now that we've chatted about that will be coming out, that we will be engaging in. I don't really have the words for just how excited that really has me at this point. It's given me a whole new level of enthusiasm, energy, and excitement to get up and do what I'm doing every day. And so hopefully we can bring that to the table collectively and share in that, and then bring that to a bigger audience. And that's really what this is all about.
100.
Amen.
All right.
Yeah,
so,
amen to that. I'll include one last thing.
Okay.
So we do have the PolyDoge birthday bash coming up May 12th through the 13th, which is going to be phenomenal. And we have these special tickets that are birthday prizes that will have Chainlink VRF, like random number generation that's happening for all those different roles. And so you'll be able to get all kinds of prizes across the different pools that we've created and creating with our partners. And the other thing is that we do have, you see this behind me, this is the PolyDoge Shiba PFP that will be launched for our birthday. And this thing has some serious utilities as well. Like, you get access to the PolyDoge chain, like Raise. There's also special utilities we're going to be doing with these PFPs when it comes to PolyDoge chain itself. So we haven't determined exactly how many there will be, but this will be a pretty big collection. It'll be probably about 12,000 NFTs or so. And then with the Polygon Panda Space Club, we do have that phase 2 mint that's coming. And everybody that's a part of the community partners program will make sure everyone gets whitelist, Panda list, right? The PolyDoge list as well, like for the Shibas. So we have all those different things that are coming. And April and May for PolyDoge will be our biggest months that we've ever had.